Hello and welcome to Introduction to Philosophy. This is an online course, and this course will be run from 12:01 a.m. on February the 11th, a Tuesday, and will be completed at 11:59 p.m. on Monday, May 12th, which gives us 12 weeks of class time with 1 week off so that you can go sit on a beach in Daytona. What I would like to do is I'd like to take this screencast to kind of give you a little bit of an overview of what's going to happen in this course. There are a few things that are very, very important, and I want to make sure that you're aware of what those important things are, and so that nothing gets missed. When you click on the link to the class in D2L, you're going to come up to this page. And what I've done is I've set it up as a demo student because the teacher's one looks a little bit different. So hopefully this will be just about just almost like yours does. At the beginning of every week, you will find this welcome. And every welcome will always have a picture here. That picture will be correlating to our planning for the weeks that we will find in our contents page when we look at that in just a moment. So if I'm going to scroll down here a little bit, you're going to find out my name's in here, a little bit of information. Here's my cell number. Please do not call or text after 10 p.m. or before 5 a.m. Here's my email address, or you may email me within D2L. Look at all the stuff in the Getting Started folder, and we're going to show you that in just a minute. And then there's a bunch of information further on down this page that we'll talk about and that you'll be able to find at a later date. Every Monday night, so by Tuesday, when you log on Tuesday, your first day of the next week, you will find the next week's worth. So this will be the welcome in week 1. And then on next Tuesday, you're going to find a new picture, and it'll say welcome to week 2 or something about week 2, and we'll do week 3, 4, 5 all the way through week 12. And then in 1 week we'll say please do not log in again, it's spring break. Okay, go write a paper. So you'll get the idea. If we go to the contents page, in the contents page there's a lot of information, and there's a couple things I want to talk about that are very, very important to the course. On this side right here you see some things that have a square and some things that have a dot. Okay, so let's hit this preparing for the course. This tells me something. So I'm going to click on preparing for the course, and it's going to tell me that our courses run from Tuesday to Monday, and that at the beginning of every week you're going to find a planning for the week, and you're going to read the documents, you're going to do your thing. At the bottom here you're going to see this where my little circle's running around in circles right now. Completing the task. When you have done that, and it says you've viewed the topic, I'd like for you to click that before you go back to your contents. And the reason for that is now it has a little green arrow or a little green check mark here. The purpose for that is there is a lot of information. If we look at this entire course all the way down, there's 130 things here. A lot of them are just telling you what to do, not necessarily things you have to do. But in there, what it does is it helps you to say, have I got everything or did I miss something? If you've missed something, make sure you go back and read that. So the purpose of this is to keep you on task. And you're going to find it not only Getting Started, but you'll find it in week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way down through the end of week 12. In this section, what I'd like you to do is remember that you have your syllabus is here. Please make sure you read it in detail. If you have questions, please let me know. Here's a week's schedule. I'm going to click on the schedule because I want you to see it. It's all of this is in PDF, so if you don't have it, there is under troubleshooting, under Getting Started, there's a folder called troubleshooting or technical troubleshooting, and if you go to that, you can actually download a PDF or a reader, Acrobat Reader, and be able to do this. This is all the information when things are due, when they're due by, what's happening. So here's an optional quiz. We have the activity, which we'll talk about in just a second, all these things. If you hit this download button, you can actually download it to your computer, and then from there you can print it out. If you're one of those that like to see a hard copy, you can do this with all the documents that are in D2L. So if we go back to Getting Started, I would like to, if we go down here, we'll find technical troubleshooting, and there you'll find a browser management troubleshooting information, and then also the free link to Adobe Reader if you need it. If we click on week 1, it's going to give us all that needs to be done for week 1. Okay, so here we'll have week 1 and planning for week 1. If I click on that, all of a sudden you're going to see that that picture, well, it might take a minute here, but the picture you saw on week 1, getting introduction, is now going to show up right here. So in this, what it's going to tell you need to do is you're going to have to do some things, and it's going to tell you everything that needs to be done for week 1. So in week 1, we're going to read the syllabus. We're going to look at the discussion rubric, the discussion tips, and online discussion guidelines. We're going to post for week 1 in introductions. It's not a graded post, but I'd like everyone to participate. And if you do, you get an extra 10% towards your first week's graded discussion if it's needed. There's also a discussion that is graded. So introductory material, it's graded in the first discussion tab. And in there, you'll have to put your initial post in this week by Friday. Every other week, it will be by Wednesday. But week 1, because we have people who are going to log in a little bit late, you have to post by Friday. So I grade week 1's discussions just a little bit differently than I do the rest of the class. In all the other weeks, weeks 2 through 12, you will be required to post by 6 p.m. on Wednesday. Our discussion threads open at 12:01 a.m. on Tuesday, and they close at 11:59 p.m. on Sunday. Okay? So from Tuesday to Sunday, you must post 4 times, and on at least 4 different days. So you can post 30 times if you'd like. You just can't post 30 times on one day and expect to get full points. And we'll talk about that in just a second, but I want to make sure that you're aware. Then we have the other things that are done here. So you're going to review the PowerPoint, you're going to read the tips on philosophy, and then you're going to read Russell's Value of Philosophy. It's a PDF, and all of your textbook and all of your reading material are in PDF format in your folders, week 1, week 2, week 3 folders. Then you're going to complete the philosophical activity, and this is found in the folder. There's a link. It's also under quizzes, so that way if you have any questions, you know where to go. And then it's due by 11:59. You have 2 hours to do it, so make sure you give yourself plenty of time. So on Monday night, if you haven't done it by 10 o'clock, you better be starting. I don't think it should take you 2 hours, but I'll give you 2 hours. And so it's all done online. And then you can look at the PowerPoint of great thinkers. And then here, if you take the syllabus quiz, you get 3 extra points. How's that? So that's my bonus for the week. Okay, so you get an idea of what's happening in introductory week number 1. If we go back to getting started, I would like you to make sure that you have seen this, because one of the questions I get asked is, how much time should I spend online? Okay, so in this document, what you're going to find is it's a online discussion guideline that talks about what we need to do in this class. Okay, so if we look at it, what we need to understand is that if you were to take a face-to-face class, you'll spend 45 hours in class every semester. Okay, that's required by the Department of Education. Okay, so if I post in my discussion thread, so here it opens at 2:01 on Tuesday, it closes 11:59 on Sunday. There's no threads on Monday, so there's no posting allowed. You post on 4 different days, a minimum of 4 postings required. If you post more than 1 posting on a single day, it will only count as 1 post. Okay, other than the first week, all responses, your first initial response must be by 6 p.m. on Wednesday. The other thing to remember is that you will not be able to respond to any of your classmates' posts until you've answered the original question. You must post your original thread before you can answer anyone else's. Okay, and in that, I will be involved in the discussion threads as well. You'll find me lurking in the background, and then you'll find me commenting, and I'll comment probably as much as most of the people in the class will do. Okay, so if you want to post 30 times, you may. I'm probably not going to post 30 times. But, hey, great post is not considered a post. So keep that in mind. I'm looking for content. So out of the 20 points that each discussion thread will have, and there will be 1 every week, sometimes a couple of weeks there are 2. Okay, the postings are worth 12 out of the 20 points. So that's 3 points per posting. That's the 4 posts up here that are required. Okay, minimum of 4 posting, and that's on 4 different days. Okay, the reading is worth 8 of the 20 points. And so right here it gives me a breakdown. If I read 40% of the post, I'm going to get 4 points. If I read 80 to 100% of the post, I get full points. Okay, now what you have to understand is discussion threads are a vital part of an online class, because that's where we dialogue. And it's like I'll post and you'll respond, and then maybe I'll respond to your post, and then maybe another person jumps in and responds, and through that we have the conversation and we develop and we dialogue, and through the Socratic method we break things down and we dig deeper and deeper and deeper into a subject to where it becomes something of value that we can take with us after this class is over. So as you do your postings, keep this in mind, and I'll be putting little notes in there. Once again, I click on here, hey, I've read this, I've taken care of it, everything's done. I'm going to go back here to my table of contents and see what I need to do for next week. Okay, so hopefully you get that. So what's part of the online? I think you need to be online probably about 3.5 hours to 4 hours per week. That would be equivalent to 45 hours in class. Now, when I'm online, what am I doing? The bulk of online will probably be spent in my discussion threads. But also, I'm going to be looking at PowerPoints. I'm going to be maybe reading a very short lecture. Maybe I'm going to be watching one of the videos that's a part of the class that I have a link to, and so I'm going to watch that video. Some are short, some are long. And I'm going to take my quizzes or do my philosophical activity. Those are part of what we would do in class. Okay. Now, if you're going to write a paper and you're going to do research, and you got reading to do for the week, and so if I go to let's go to week 2. In week 2 here we have planning for the week. It's not letting me do it. Oh, it's not open. That's why. Okay, so sorry about that. Let's look at Introduction to Philosophy for week 1. This would be actually one of our reading assignments. Okay, so this particular one, because it's linked to a PowerPoint, you're going to be reading it, and that would be considered part of it. But you're online, so once again, that could also be considered part of your class time. So as you go through the week, if you have questions, don't be afraid to contact me. You can get hold of me, my phone number, all of those things. But I believe that we can have a great semester. I'm looking forward to the semester. I think it'll be exciting. Hopefully, we'll have a great time. So jump into it. Raise your questions. If you have a lot of questions, you can always click on this discussion thread right here. And there's some ungraded discussions. This one's just a discussion about, here's a general conversation one. Here's one about writing the term papers or short writing assignments. If you post in these, I'll answer, or your classmates may answer. But in here, if you have questions, what about this? How do I do this? What about that? Your classmates may have the same question. This is a great place for us to go. And it's almost like sitting down at Starbucks, having a cup of coffee, and chatting a little bit about what's happening in the class. So hopefully this has been an informative time. And having said that, I'm going to sign off and allow you to get started. And I'm excited about the class and hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Have a great week. We'll be seeing you soon.